Wagwan people, it's your girl Sarah Beth and I'm back with another video, and in today's video it's all about leveling up. It's all about becoming the person that you want to be. It's all about figuring out those habits that will get you there. I am currently on this journey myself, and I just wanted to share some tips and tricks with you guys for becoming the best version of you, becoming the person that you want to be. So I have some pointers and I'll discuss a little bit about each point as I go along. So I'll be reading from my laptop. If you see me looking down, that's why. The first one is to define your goals. What are your goals? You need to know what your goals are. If you don't have a plan, if you don't have a process, if you don't have the planning stages done or executed, you won't have direction. So that would be one of the first things that I would say that you need to do, is to figure out your goals. What do you actually want? What is it that you see yourself doing? Who do you see yourself as? What's the type of person that you want to become? And for me, a lot of that has helped by defining myself in Christ. So if you want help with that, you can read Ephesians 6, and that helps a lot with that, in figuring out who you are. If you don't know who you are, you need to read Ephesians 6. Trust me, it will help. Another thing is breaking bad habits and building good habits. You need to be able to be consistent, and that's where discipline also comes in. So being consistent and having good habits rule over the bad ones is key. And I know it's not easy to do, but you have to figure out a way how you can get it done. And one of the ways you can get yourself to be consistent or disciplined with achieving your goals is to practice daily tiny habits. So practice breaking those bad habits daily. Try to do something daily, and trust me, after maybe a month, maybe even less, it's going to become easier and easier. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. So that's what I would say. Building a strong sense of consistency and being self-disciplined would be my number 2. And number 3 would be learning how to control your emotions. Learning how to control your emotions is very underrated, and it's very important, because if you're out here just overreacting and losing it over every little thing, you're not going to get very far. People with that type of temperament don't get very far. So I would advise you to work on mastering your emotions or controlling your emotions. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you push them to the side or you sweep them under the rug, ignore them, or suppress them in a sense. It basically means you understand them, you acknowledge them, and you understand them. And that way you can respond or react better in situations, rather than being immature or unproductive or reacting in a way that does not serve your greater good. So I would say figuring out your emotions and how you can learn how to be emotionally intelligent and mature is another thing that you can do to make yourself better. And then another key is boundaries. If you do not know how to set boundaries, there are 2 books that I could recommend to you guys. One I'm currently reading and one I've read before. And I think I'll put the link in the description. for boundaries. Boundaries is a big one because a lot of people think that they have good boundaries, but they don't. I was one of those people. And first of all, I didn't know what boundaries were. I didn't understand the concept of boundaries. I just thought as long as I'm doing everything to make everybody else happy, the world will be a great place. No, that's a lie. That doesn't serve you at all, and you cannot pour from an empty cup. That's the main thing you have to think about when you think about boundaries. It's a protection of yourself so that you don't feel depleted, you don't lose who you are, and you can still give and pour into others from that full place. So learning how to say no and learning how to set boundaries and just saying no to bad habits and saying no to friends who don't mean you well, or saying no to places that you don't need to be hanging out anymore. Setting boundaries is very important for your self-esteem and for your self-care. Okay? And another thing is focus. That's the biggest one. Focus. If you don't improve your focus, if you can't stay focused on anything, I'm sorry, but I can't do much for you. There's not much anyone can do for you. You have to try to improve your focus. And I know in this day and age, it's very difficult to stay focused because our attention spans are so short. So try to practice things that will help you to improve your focus. And I talked about being consistent and creating good habits and all of that in one of my previous videos, where I even gave ideas on how you can, sorry about that, I gave ideas on how you could actually block out certain apps if you have a problem with social media, and setting timers and taking breaks, stuff like that. So that's what I would say. I would say focus, improving your focus, setting good boundaries, taking control of your emotions, and figuring out how you can be emotionally intelligent, and being self-disciplined and consistent, and breaking bad habits to form good ones, and also identifying what you want and setting goals are all things that anyone can do at any age, at any time, to improve their lives. So those are some things that I've learned over the span of time that I've been diving deep into this topic, and I just wanted to share with you guys so you can start doing it as well if you aren't already on your journey and you wanted some pointers on how you could start. Maybe you're thinking about changing who you are or not being sure of who you are, and these are some surefire ways to improve who you are. And actually, these things cannot lead you down the wrong path. These things that I shared with you are for your improvement, they're for your betterment, they're for a better life. So I will encourage you guys to try to learn about each of these topics. I'm in the process right now where I'm buying books to help with boundaries, to help with focus, to help with self-discipline, to help with all of the goals that I have. So I would advise you guys, if you're not readers, you can listen to Audible books, but you cannot, or research, do your own research the way you research things. But you need information and you need to learn in order to become better. That's one thing I would say. If you are not someone who likes learning or encourages learning, I don't think you are a good candidate for growth. I don't think you are ready for growth. You have to be a learner. You have to be willing to be a student in order to learn how to be a better person. You see how that works? You have to learn new habits. You have to learn new habits. You have to unlearn certain habits. It all ties into growth. So I would encourage you guys to buy some books, do some research, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.